Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Vesteban's Blood Box, where we're here to discuss metal, all things metal, mostly records, along with other stuff as it comes along. But today, I want to talk about one of my favorite metal genres, funeral doom metal. I'm sure a lot of you probably are familiar with the genre, but in case you're not, I'll give you the fast rundown. Funeral doom started a little bit from the black metal scene. It's really defined by its long, drawn-out, drony songs. The subject matter is obviously funeral doom. You can probably get what it's about from that, but sorrow, despair, doom, things like that. It does tend to have more of a beautiful melody compared to your traditional black metal or death metal bands. It also is defined by, again, it's very long songs, sometimes 10 to 20 minutes long. But there is a lot of beauty in the music and a lot of fantastic musicians out there. So today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite funeral doom albums that are in my collection. And we're going to start off with this one here. I'm going to preface it by saying, when you're starting a genre, but you don't know you're starting a genre, usually you're a young kid and you get a band together and you're like, hey, let's create a metal band. Let's jam in our parents' garage. Let's just fuck around and see what happens. And you've maybe read some Lovecraftian literature, and that's influenced you a little bit. And so you're fucking around in your parents' garage and you record this. This is Thergothon, and this is their demo that was just recently re-released on vinyl. I don't think it was ever supposed to be, but hey, here it is. Thergothon. Thergothon invented the genre of funeral doom. By accident, I think. I think they were just messing around, seeing what they could come up with. But ended up stumbling across being a very influential band for years to come, 30 on years down the road. So yeah, recorded this demo, and then this is 90, I believe, 91, somewhere around there. 94, released their full length, which is Stream from the Heavens by Thergothon. So I'm going to preface by saying, you can definitely tell this is a bunch of young dudes just fucking around. The production quality is, I don't want to say atrocious, but it's not great. That being said, they were the first to do it. And frankly, the song structures and the songwriting is great. That's what makes this. And there's something, I don't know, innocent about the production that makes it appealing as well. So these songs, again, characterized by the long, drony, drawn-out tunes that funeral doom is known for, also set the stage for a lot of other bands because they use synthesizers. The synths are pingy, cheap, sounds like toy synths a little bit. The guitars all have a significant amount of phase and flange on them. They seem to pan back and forth through the entire album, so you've got the guitar just moving through your headphones all the way through. Minimal drums, which is defining of the genre for sure. All of those elements. Production is what it is, but this was the album that started it all, and there is something endearing about it, and it works. It does work for what it is. This band, like I said, very influential to a lot of other bands. Evoken was highly influenced by Thergothon. I don't think there's any funeral doom band that doesn't have some influence of this album or this band in them that is in the genre. Again, definitely check it out. A must listen to if you're into funeral doom or getting into funeral doom. This was the single album that's kickstarted it all. So, I know I talk shit on it, but I really love the album. It was one of the first I heard of the genre, and I fucking loved it. Those synths I was talking about sort of are reminiscent of, like, I don't know, the Dark Crystal, maybe the Labyrinth, the 70s and 80s, like, synth soundtrack stuff. So, god damn. I lit an incense to get some mood going, but it's choking me the fuck out. Let me set that back here. Jesus Christ. Anyways, I'll catch my hair on fire. Where was I? Thergothon. Yes, talked about Thergothon. Second band, majorly influential to me. Really fell in love with this band. Actually discovered them after I found Thergothon. I found Thergothon on iTunes back when iTunes was, the 2006 iTunes or whatever, and it suggested this next band to me, which is Funeral Mourning. Found this band right after finding Thergothon, fell in love with this as well. To me, very important album and band to the genre. Funeral Mourning really takes the aspects of what makes Funeral Doom from Thergothon and adds the lushness and layers of dark beauty that a lot of people find appealing to the genre. Gorgeous songwriting, but gorgeous in a very dark, heavy, emotional way. Really, Thergothon uses more of the growly, maybe, I don't want to say death metal vocals, it's too slow for that, but that sort of low range growl vocals. Funeral Mourning uses the higher, harsher pitched, more black metal style of vocals, but great album. Definitely recommend checking this one out. This is a regular one that I listen to. Really stoked to have it on vinyl. This is actually one of the few albums I have every version of, including both CD releases. This is the first release that came out. This is the original CD that was released in 2006. As you can see, they used the same artwork as Machine Head. I think it was a Machine Head album. Probably why they had to change it later on. But this was the original release with all the original songs. After that, the vinyl was released years later. I don't know the exact year, but it was 2010s, I believe. This one has 3 of the original songs from the CD on it, and then the second side has 2 new songs. So it's not the complete album from the CD, but it does have 2 new recorded songs that were recorded later. Definitely fit the album well. Beautiful songs, glad to have them. Vinyl sounds great. But yeah, this is a slightly incomplete version of the CD, but it is a complete album in the sense that it has other stuff. The version to get, one, this is really hard to come across and very expensive because it's really rare. I doubt there'll be other pressings of it, so it's going to be hard to get the vinyl if you're into vinyl. This is the version to get if you can. These don't go for very much, I think $10, $20 depending on where you go. This is the CD that was the last release of this album. It includes the full album that was originally released on CD along with the new songs that were released on the vinyl. So this is the most complete version of that album you can find. Sounds great, has all the good stuff on it, so definitely Funeral Mourning, check them out. I also bring up Funeral Mourning because the guy behind that band, he goes by Desolate. He is involved in a lot of projects. Funeral Mourning is based out of Australia. No one knows who Desolate is. He's just a guy. There's only 1 or 2 known pictures of him, but he's got all these corpse paint, spike bracelets, all that shit that they do. So you can't tell who he is. But he is, I don't know if he's behind a label or what, but I know he's been involved with Woods of Desolation. I don't know if he's involved musically with them or just promotion, but I know that he is involved somehow with them. Ramit is another band that I know he's got some involvement with. And Austere. Now, he's not in the band Austere, but he does have connections with Austere because they jointly released this project, which is Abysmal Sorrow. Great albums. The vinyl release, if you can get it, is a release of both albums combined. It is a double LP and a single pocket, but it's the 2 Abysmal Sorrow albums. I believe, and I could be mistaken on this, I believe Austere, or the guy behind Austere, I don't know his actual name, does the drums and the vocals, if I'm not mistaken, and then Desolate takes care of the programming and guitar work on it. Great middle of the road between both bands, Austere being more of the depressive, suicidal black metal stuff, Funeral Mourning, Desolate being the funeral doom metal. Both genres very close cousins of each other, can easily mix and intertwine. But yeah, this is that cool album that does just that, combines both those genres. So definitely check this out. These I don't think go for very much, so you should be able to get a copy of this. If you like the funeral doom stuff, if you like the funeral mourning stuff, but don't want to fork out the $100 for that vinyl, you can get these for I think $20, $30 maybe. So definitely check that out. And next on my vinyl list of the vinyl I have is one of my very favorite albums of all time. I can listen to this album whether I'm feeling sad, whether I'm feeling happy, whether I just want to put something on for whatever. This album is it for me. This is Shape of Despair. I got a notification from something. Shape of Despair, Monotony Fields. This is the album, I would say, if you have never listened to Funeral Doom before, if you've never listened to black metal or extreme metal in any form, but you're like, hey, fuck it, let's try something out of this genre, this is the album to go to. Follows all the same tropes of Funeral Doom with the longer songs, very minimal drums, definitely takes Thergothon's flame in using synthesizers pretty heavily, and the long drawn-out guitars. Vocals have both the growling vocals and beautiful clean vocals on it. But every song on this is just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Flow into each other seamlessly. Not as harsh as a lot of the other Funeral Doom stuff. Thergothon, with its lo-fi quality, Funeral Doom is a little harsher when it comes to the vocals and guitars and things like that. Slightly better on the fidelity than Thergothon, but still somewhat lo-fi. This is definitely a well-produced album, well-recorded, so definitely check this one out. This is Shape of Despair's last album that came out in 2015. They're still around. I'm sure they'll come out with more stuff, but this was their latest release. Tough to find the vinyl, unfortunately. Released on Season of Mist, but I think they only did one or maybe two runs of it. You can get the CD pretty easily, though. Shape of Despair has been around for a while, since the 2000s. They came out with a demo and then a few other albums that are good. I do enjoy them. They've recently been re-released on vinyl. But this is the album where they really settled into their own sound. Their older albums are definitely trying to sound like Funeral Doom bands they had heard before, like Vulcan and things like that. They were growing. No fault to that. You know, everyone's got to figure out their own sound by, stealing some shit from other people. So definitely check those albums out. But this is the album where this is Shape of Despair as themselves. This is their work, their originality. Just stellar album. Again, if I could recommend any album in my collection to anyone, this is the one. So check them out. Shape of Despair, Monotony Fields. So, while I'm going through Funeral Doom, since we moved to Minnesota back in 2018, we started going to an awesome brewery called Hammerheart Brewery. Of course, anyone watching this that's in Minnesota, you know Hammerheart, I'm sure. Anyone outside of the state, it is a kick-ass brewery that has amazing beer, all really smoky flavors, all based on Scandinavian, I think Norwegian-style ales and things like that. Amazing beer, Viking-themed. Hammerheart, it is named after the Hammerheart album by Bathory. And it's also kind of a little bit of a haven for metal people to hang out. There's definitely a metal crew that likes to chill there, and they also sell metal records there, which is cool. The reason I bring this up is because this next band I discovered at the 6th anniversary this last year of Hammerheart Brewing being in existence. I met John, who came up to me. He saw some of the patches on my battle vest, and I had some Funeral Doom stuff. I think I had a Shape of Despair patch on there, and he's like, hey, I'm into Funeral Doom too. I actually have a Funeral Doom band. You should check it out. So I did. He sent me this CD. This is his band, Chalice of Suffering. I bring it up because it's really fucking good. This is a great album. Was stoked to find out about it and hear it. Awesome. I'm really excited to have a CD of it. This, I would say, is another good band to check out if you're getting into the genre. Not because it's necessarily easily digestible, but because it is a little more entertaining if you're not used to the Funeral Doom genre. Funeral Doom can get pretty drony and long-toothed. Long-teethed? Toothed? How the fuck you say that? It can get long. So some people may find it kind of boring. It's hard to get into if you're not already into some extreme music. This is definitely still extreme, definitely still metal, definitely Funeral Doom, but it moves a little bit more. Some of the songs have a little bit faster pace to them, and there is more movement within the songs to hold your interest if you're not used to music that's a little bit slower. It still, like I said, holds true to Funeral Doom, still has the same vibe, but I'll say hold your interest a little bit longer, I'd say, if you're not used to it. And if you're a fan of Funeral Doom anyways, still a great album, you'll still fucking love it. So it comes in a digipack, which is awesome. I know a lot of people fucking hate digipacks because you can't replace it if it gets damaged. But that's why I like it. It's more like having something special to the album, like having a vinyl record. You know, jewel cases, sure you can replace them, but if you want to have a nice one, you've got to replace it every 5 days because they get so damn scratched up. Really, really good packaging on this. Has a really cool sheen to it. I can't see it on there. You can see it a little bit. Reminds me of the old Magic the Gathering foil cards. But really stellar packaging on this. This is available on their Bandcamp. I'll post a link below. They have shirts. They have all sorts of stuff. I think a couple other albums too, maybe one other album. But this is their latest release. And just a stellar release. Definitely check that out. I also want to mention another band that's local that I finally got to sit down and listen to today, actually. I don't have their CD because I ordered it today. It's on its way to me. But this band is Ulkum. I'm sure if you're a metalhead in Minneapolis, you know this band. They have played a lot of killer shows with a lot of great bands. They do now have a CD available on their Bandcamp. I was surprised to learn, I reached out to them today because I wanted to use their music for this video. So that's what you're hearing right now in the background of all of this, and also at the intro is the music from the CD. So this CD, this music that you're hearing, was actually recorded live at their performance at KFAI's radio station. Again, if you're not familiar with Minnesota, that's the radio station here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, that plays metal music. And they have a lot of live metal bands on that are local. I was stoked because this sounds like a studio recording to me. It doesn't sound live. So that alone is a testament to how talented these dudes are. They are incredible musicians. They can play this damn good live. You know, their album is going to be amazing. This is just a 3-track album. Definitely fills up plenty of time, though. I think each song is close to about 10 minutes. They should have a full length coming out soon. I think they said maybe by the fall. Of course, we're all going through a lot right now, so things are being a little bit delayed. But the CD is currently available. These 3 songs are amazing. I would say this is another good band to launch you into the genre because it has some of the same qualities. Definitely different band musically, but similar to Chalice of Suffering in the sense that their songs hold interest. They are long, like your typical Funeral Doom songs, but they move. And man, they get you pumping about halfway through a lot of them. So definitely check out this band. Another band I'd recommend if you're just new to the genre. And again, if you know the genre, you'll love this band as well. On the CD, so it's got those 3 songs, and then with the digital copy of the CD, if you get it on Bandcamp, it also comes with 3 rehearsals. 3 rehearsal songs added to that as well. Also fantastic. You can tell, again, these dudes are stellar musicians because the quality is incredible. And as of making this video, I know you get a patch of their band too if you order the CD. Depending on when you see this, I don't know how long that's going to last. But as of May 6th, May 5th, somewhere around there, you can get a patch with the CD. So definitely go get it now while that's still available on Bandcamp. Ulkum. Again, I'll put that at the bottom too, so you'll be able to see some of that. So that's my favorites of the Funeral Doom genre. I've got a lot of records from the genre, as you can see here. I've got a whole stack of stuff, but we don't want to spend hours talking about it, right? Let's hit the highlights. Definitely check them out. Can't recommend Ulkum and Chalice of Suffering enough. Amazing bands. Definitely check out this album as well. Just to recap here a little bit, Abysmal Sorrow, great combination of depressive suicidal black metal along with Funeral Doom. Funeral Mourning, another one of my favorites, essential to the Funeral Doom genre. Check that out. And, of course, the must-have intro to the whole thing. I know I harped on this album a little bit, but I absolutely love this album. It's essential to a Funeral Doom collector. It's been re-released, so it's not very expensive to get this copy anymore. This kickstarted the whole genre. Who knew a bunch of kids would would end up kickstarting a genre? One last thing about that band. So, Thergothon. Come out with this album, 94, pretty much call it quits right after that. But I just found out today that the dudes went on to create another band pretty quickly after that, another project called This Empty Flow. So this is detached from this subject. It's not Funeral Doom. This album is completely different than Thergothon. But it is the same guys. 96, This Empty Flow. Pretty sure they just came out with one album. It's fantastic. It is a fucking great album. It has a mixture. It's got sounds a little bit like The Cure. I'd also say there's some Porcupine Tree sounding prog in there. I couldn't say whether or not they were influenced by Porcupine Tree. This would have been pretty early to be influenced by them, but regardless, that kind of progginess is in there. And then you can still hear hints of this original Funeral Doom stuff in there. It's not the heavy guitars, it's more shoegazy, but definitely check it out. The production's fantastic. Can't believe those dudes didn't go on to make more with that project because it's really, really good. But if you are a fan of Thergothon, check out This Empty Flow. It's fucking amazing stuff. Hard to come across. They've only got a few CDs out there and one vinyl of that album that was re-released in 2011 that, of course, is impossible to find. But if you get a chance, it's on Spotify and all that, YouTube and all that, so definitely check that out. Alright, that's, I think, enough of me yapping about this stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free, if you have other bands that you'd like to recommend to me in the genre, leave them in the comments. There's numerous bands, also important bands that I've glossed over in the genre. There's tons of them out there, and there's new stuff coming out every day. Also, I've seen there's people making this music, on Facebook and YouTube and stuff. So if you make a Funeral Doom project or anything similar, let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for new music, so I'd love to hear your stuff. So, anyways, here's our second episode of Vesteban's Bloodbots. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be making more. And cheers, my friends. Be safe out there.